I would self-style and take pictures of myself. I'd take pictures, sometimes style my friends, and then send this to designers. I'd send this to bands, music bands. I'm doing, like I said, now doing commercials. I've worked with big brands, and I've worked with big brands. I've worked with antique companies, and I've worked with what you call celebrities. Seeing it deep in
things are rolling.
Yeah, things are moving. Are you moving? Within 2017, I became the face of Hennessy. So my face is all over Africa.
Stay strong. Don't you ever give up.
Hello everyone, ninjani makhaya. I hope you guys are good, man. Nam de grand gwecala ne. Guys, welcome back to my show, From Nothing to Something podcast. Igama lam ndingu-Anele Sokapase ne, aka Uta Ace, aka Uta Mabheka, inja yegame, inja yempilo, uGabadika. You already know, man. Uphunyuka kabamphethe. Izinja madoda, shosho man. Guys, today we've got a guest episode. And guys, you know what, as you can see, I'm not in my normal studio today. The owner of the shop was kind enough to host us today. But the owner, is a busy guy, so he told us, you know what, if you're gonna do this, you better come to my man, to my space, yes. So where are we, guys? We're in Braamfontein, right?
Yes, sir.
We're in Braamfontein, in one of his shops, Boys of Soweto. One shop is here in Braamfontein and the other shop it's in
Rosebank.
In Rosebank at the zone, right? Yeah, man. So this is where we are today, guys. And today, guys, I must say, today is going to be a special episode. It's going to be a special episode for me because nyamazi uTayesu unjani, uthanda izinto. You understand? And if awuthanda izinto, how are you guys going to chase success? If awuthanda izinto, how are you going to be able to achieve anything? You understand? And abanye bethu sithanda izinto, but we are not willing to do the work. You understand? So it's not just about uthanda izinto, you have to get on your grind also. You understand? But enough about that, guys. So this is where we are, man. Yeah, man. So like I was saying, niyazi, guys, endlini kwami kugcwele, my house is full of GQ magazine. I've been buying it since. Appreciation for fashion. Yamazi uTayesu uthanda izinto, he likes looking good. Interior deco endlini, into ezinjalo, you understand? This is why today is going to be a special episode, you understand? Plus, I do wear the brand also, and I'm not capping.
Yeah, I've been seeing it. You've been supporting us, man, since what, 2021?
2-3 years now. 2-3 years, something like that.
2022, 2023.
Yeah, man. But I need to up my game now. The last time I bought something was last year, so I need to up my game.
Was it that green set?
The two set.
Or
the two set.
purple
beige, and the other one is navy.
Okay.
Yes, it's a unisex thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the last time. So I need to come back, right? But guys, without wasting time, I keep bumping this mic. Without wasting time, let me introduce my guest today. Like I said, it's a guest show. Guest here today, Vusumuzi Ndima. Some of you guys know him as Bob the Stylist. Yeah. Right? And thank you, sir, for embracing our show.
And thank you for reaching out to me.
Yeah, thank you, man. And I believe, behind all of this, there's a very inspirational story. This is why I decided to reach out to you. Okay. I understand. And guys, like I always say, I keep telling you guys this. If I'm going to call myself uTayesu inja yegame, it's only fair to invite isn't just a game, show in. People like Bob, people abapushayo, people who are not full of excuses. You understand? People who are pushing through, understand their vision, who know what they want in life, right? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna read his portfolio, right? So it says here, Vusumuzi is a head of imagination and a founder of the following brands, right? Like you can see behind us, Boys of Soweto, which is your premium clothing brand. And then he also makes the suits, right? Suits by Bob the stylist, yes. And then the other thing that I like about him, he understands Uguti, why he was brought in this world is also to serve. Yeah, understand. It's also to serve others. It's not just about you, me, right? You can have your own goals, but Utiko, he wants to use us as ama vessels to go and inspire others. This is now why he also formed the Boys Today and Men Tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Which is about molding a strong psychological image of black boys in the township, right? Are you from Soweto?
Born and raised, Soweto.
You understand? You understand? So this is where this thing came from, right? But before we go any further, guys, right? He will tell all about his business and other stuff later, right? Because you know what this show is about. It's about inspiration. We want to know the human behind the superhero that is sitting in front of me. Before we want to know the human side of him. We want to know about the adversity, what it took for you to build this big brand like this. You understand? Whether you faced adversities in your upbringing, also we want you to feel free and share everything.
Yeah.
Because abanye abantu prapop, they tend to think ukuthi they see the polished version of you, and then they tend to think ukuthi you achieve that thing overnight. The success you have to grind.
Takes
over
time.
time. It takes time. So I want you to take your time and share that adversity. You know, whether it's like I'm saying from your background, your upbringing, or even when you started the business.
Sure.
You know. But before you do that, can you please kindly introduce yourself, man, to our viewers? Tell us where you're from and a brief about your upbringing.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
So igama nguVusumuzi, ekhaya nguVusumuzi, Bobo Ndima. And then, like you'd said, in the industry, bangazi ngoBob the stylist, I started off as a stylist, and the journey started in 2010 when I lost my day job. I made a vow to myself, kuti yacht, angiphinde ngifuna umsebenzi because ngibambiseke within the journey. Yeah? We were promised ukuthi I was working for. There was a project called Sasiza, under government. It's a local government, right? And we were assigned to eradicate or alleviate, assist those who are impoverished, right? So we'd assist them, giving them subsidies. And we were project we were enrolled as internship, and we were told that after 12 months, you're going to get a permanent job. So we worked as employees, but we are not employees, so they want any benefits and whatnot. So I was planning as well. Okay, game planning. As soon as I get permanent, I'll apply for scholarship and whatnot because I know the government. If once you're employed, you are eligible to apply, or you are able to apply for funding. So that was my plan. I picked up Ninda Gutilana since in Indonesia. I'm gonna buy a stand and build my house. You know, you're planning as it out. This is what's gonna roll out. And 2010, on the last day meeting, we brought us all into one meeting, and they told us which you want a project iyaphela for Tina bazofaka abantu, but we can't take you guys permanently because there aren't any funds. All those funds were used into building this World Cup. You know, so you can imagine about if now I was planning it.
And there was no heads up.
No, not at all. Yeah, and like you'd speak to your seniors, good now, you're doing well, we like what you're doing. You know, like when I was in my title, and I thought I could right.
Yes.
And you know that hit. People were crying on that day, especially ladies were crying. You know, and it was then I realized, actually, this is how the system is. You know, and this is how things are. You know. You need to choose the path that you're going to take from now on going forward. I use a and because it's been before that there was another project Bengoya for 18 months, watching or you're going to play dice and do what because I used to get compliments as Spanish and go to man as Gapa or my generations or something, but most of the time I'd get compliments on purely how I dress. Because as in, let me pursue this. Let me pursue being a fashion stylist. You know, and I did that. Told myself, I'm going to work on my portfolio, which I did. You know, and how I started with my portfolio was I would self-style and take pictures of myself. This is during Facebook. There was only Facebook that makes it. You know? And I created a profile. on my album, photo album. Go to this is my portfolio, and I'll take pictures. Sometimes style my friends, and then send this to designers. I'd send this to bands, music bands. You know, that was my plan. Good, okay, this is when I'm going to build a body of work, and this is how I'm going to present myself. And I worked on it while I was doing that. So it's been as petty, right?
Yes.
So now for survival begins and being saying impahla. You know, so I used to sell bing namakhonje. So if I'm saying intwana nje nempintshi yami besamba amakhonje nesethi lesithola indawo ikodi. You know, so I could at least sustain
Are
myself.
you still at home that time?
So now I'm home.
You're still staying at home?
Yeah, I left home late. I left home in my late 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, ngisendlini, selling,
trying to
selling.
find yourself.
I'm trying to find you. I'm trying to build this thing.
Yes, of
where
course.
people, when my parents were asking, oh, go to yini lehle lo yenzayo, and
Yeah.
they couldn't grasp it. Ukuthi
Yes.
ufuna ukuba stylist.
Yes.
Yini lento le manje ukuthi no ufuna ukugqokisa abantu bathi ubani umuntu ongakwazi ukugqokisa.
That's not your traditional career.
Yeah, they
Understand?
just didn't understand it, yeah, but it took a while. There was a time where they hosted a meeting for me. Yeah.
Bahlaliswa phansi.
Bahlalise phansi, my cousins were there ukuthi ndoda
Shame,
kenzalani ugcwele impahla zakhe ekamereni when imagine taking in clothes ngama-plastic laphana. They thought I was losing it to my mommy. I think kumthandazi
Yeah. Beka izandla enhloko.
hayi ingane yami ayisekho right. Lo muntu
Phumela
uyagqoka
amadimoni.
uyagqoka amasudu manje sayithenga it just they couldn't see that
Yes,
vision.
of
You know?
course,
But I continued with it. Just building. So from building a portfolio, now I had access. The one homie of mine, Upio from Kwani Experience. I'm not sure if you know the band Kwani Experience. I think they were in their peak. 2003, 2004,
Sounds
to like 2006.
jazzish.
Yes, the
It
jazz.
sounds like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
jazz experimental. I reached out to him. Then later on, I'm joking to know there's a lady who does marketing and PR. He's got a band. He needs your services. That was my first gig. And I was standing in Afrikaans band from Pretoria. They call themselves Ice Project.
Okay.
And I did that gig. That gig just gave me oomph, and I worked on another. From then. Whilst we're doing that with my homies, imagine on a weekend, so I would literally cross here, seeing that it was MTN, just go so certain back, and we would come back and just take pictures. Like man. Oh, then I discovered with a homie of mine who Itan, he's the nerdy type. He's always reading. I'm like, then he told me, actually, you know what? There's a way of getting imali.
Yes.
On the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, like Ganjan, there's blogging and whatnot. I did my research on blogging, then I started a blog. The first blog that I started was called Conceptualize, and I'll blog about Stella Sami and incorporate, because of template icon was better than the Facebook, the interface icon, and use that as a portfolio. Then my homies joined in. Then we ended up coining it Boys of Soweto. Then I moved from that, started building Boys of Soweto. And what our goal was to showcase Stella City and at the same time shine or bring in a positive light amongst boys from the township, because you normally hear negative things about boys from the township, mostly on radio, TV, and even on newspapers. Like that, we're showcasing positive but
side.
Using fashion,
Yes.
and we'll come up with campaigns, would come up with captions and whatnot. That's how it started, and it got traction. GQ started reaching us to
GQ,
us.
I told you, yeah.
So now, just go GQ.
Hey,
Okay.
This is which year now?
This is now 2012. 2012.
Okay.
Yeah. GQ. We were doing interviews. There's journalists from overseas coming, just to document us. I was also involved in a book called We Are Dandies. Actually, here I was part of the capture. So this lady, Rosie, she was capturing lifestyle and dandy. Because at that time we used to wear suits, and suits for me now were inspired by Nkonzo. So I was part of an apostle. I was a disciple within the apostle congregation, and a 12 old apostle. So we were required to wear suits on a day.
Yes, presentable.
Every day,
Every day.
7 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time I committed.
I get it. The suits by. Okay,
But
where it's
the
coming
way it
from.
comes,
also.
yeah. So it's that you're
Making
sourcing garments, ngapha masudu. Then one person reached out to me, afuna suit, and she had an impression that I design suits. Yeah, and she wanted a suit for her husband to be.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
I'm
yes.
like, okay, because now I need to
Yeah.
create something from scratch. And I reached out to Uzobi. Zobi was a lady friend of mine. She started fashion. She took me through the streets. I started learning about tailors, where I can find tailors who can actually make suits for me. You know? And that's how Suits by Bob the Stylist came about. You know, and whilst doing that. But on the side, whilst doing that, because I need to survive,
Yes.
I'm now interning I'm interning as a stylist. I'm working under Post Production. Post Production was owned by is owned by what's this lady, Jody, right?
Okay.
Whilst working with Jody, she loved my ideas. She loved the brand Boys of Soweto as well, and
Yes.
we became part of a campaign. Peroni alcohol brand.
Okay.
We were like good background, so we are let's go billboard background.
Yeah.
Now I want to say and now we're becoming popular, and so it started off C3.
You're becoming a beacon of hope. Abantu basekhaya.
Yeah, one like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah, yeah.
there's something here. Yeah, one Boys of Soweto. And one thing led to another. We're now working with Ben Sherman. So I'm writing proposals.
Ngiyabona Ben Sherman, yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm not styling, if I'm not sourcing, essentially, I'm just working on concepts and looking approach about. I worked on an idea, worked on a concept. I sent it to Ben Sherman. Ben Sherman is actually, it was an audition to be the ambassador. Ben Sherman, I made it to number 2, right?
Okay.
Then I spoke to the marketing manager. But you know what? It's fine. Normally, excuse me.
Sure.
Normally, ungatolanga, but there's a brand that's actually coming, and we'd like you with your boys. We'd like you to push that brand down, and this brand was the Palladium Boots. You know?
Palladium,
yeah. So
Palladium
we were
Boots,
we're the crew that actually introduced the Palladium Boots into the streets.
Sure.
We
Okay.
participated in a campaign. It was a global campaign. You know, and, it was called Explore Your City. So Palladium selected influencers. We'd call them influencers right now, but it was not. Back then, just how we perceive influence is quite different than what it is right now.
Yeah.
All right, so there was us, it was Daily Paper, it was Street Etiquette, it was a whole lot of brands just globally they selected. And in Africa, it was Boys of Soweto. Which now just elevated our cred, our street cred.
Yes.
You're part of a global campaign, you know?
Of course.
We did that. But Endlin is now, 2013. Like, yo, we see you as Enzentolez, but where are you going? So you can imagine, when Kogamasutu, Mewana, Endlin, Babuni Temba, and Lomundlona, you know, that's when I had to sit down.
You're already selling the brand now.
No, I'm not selling the
You're
brand.
not selling the brand.
No, it's not a brand.
Yes.
That time it was a blog.
Oh.
It was a blog
Okay.
where these 3 guys, they'll tell stories through fashion and photography. Yeah, when
Okay,
we're just telling stories,
okay.
wearing our own clothes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, but we're wearing our own
okay,
clothes that we're
okay.
sourcing. We're not making any brands.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, 2013, like, man, we need to register this blog into a brand. Then we start actually build a brand out of Boys of Soweto. The conversation that I'd have with my homies and like, so Shire. Yeah, but I know time is ticking, you know. It's 3 years and I'm looking at abantu looking sense and people are moving, like your peers are moving.
Yeah.
Like I register.
But you must understand, Bob, everyone has got their time.
True that. Everyone has their time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't relax.
You can't relax. Yes,
Then I
yes.
made a decision. Let me register. I can't wait for my homies. Let me register. I registered the company in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
All right.
2011, registered the company in 2013.
Yes, sir.
I made my first T-shirts and caps, pushed them in Mabuning, Arts and Main. There used to be a market at Arts and Main, and that's when I was doing my research. You would say, in hindsight, I'd say I was doing my research, testing God's value. This brand is actually viable. It's not just an idea, because you can have an idea, but if people are not buying, or you can have this great idea, but if you don't materialize it and people are not reacting to it, so
What's the point?
so I had to test it out.
Yes.
And that's what I did, and it was positive. Like people were buying it. Bang Suse Arts and Main, because there was, but I was a competitor. There was a brand called I Love Joburg or something, and I moved to.
Started hating.
Eh?
They started hating.
And they saw a competition.
Yeah.
Then I moved to a homie of mine. He had a store called Oslo. Yeah, and Oslo. Oslo. where he took a certain percentage and then I'd stock my teas there. Also doing as into but I'm a teas focus on that. Then went back deep into styling.
Okay.
Right, went back deep into styling now. I'm now styling campaigns. I'm styling TV commercials. Now I'm styling magazines. Now deep. I'm now learning on set. On set, even not just styling, but set design. And now styling on my move. And fast forward, going to fall out with the homies. And
there was three of you guys, no?
There was three. So it was three, then it became a family. It was a whole lot of us. Because it was now a movement and everyone wants to be. So all of my friends.
Talk about the fallout?
Sure. We had a fallout, and the fallout is everyone was now focusing on their career.
Individual.
It kind of hit me a bit, because I looked at my homies and I knew their strength. And I knew good to if Sahlangana Lana would run.
Yes,
one is an attorney, one is just a natural entrepreneur. One with three of us, we'll build a solid brand. And our share ideas good talk. We can actually have a shop in Mabune, when you daydreaming, or we could have this and that.
Sure.
But then it's like nothing is happening. But when you sit down, you see them moving. When they bang shy, that's when I took a sit back, like which I did.
Sure.
Which I did.
Okay. So this is a turning point.
2014, I think it was 2014.
It was because of that separation.
Yeah.
And
it was
discouraged you that much.
I was depressed. And we were full out. Literally, we stopped engaging now. We stopped talking. And it was Then I focused on Suits by Bob the Stylist.
Okay.
At least now I'm it's me one, and I know I can only blame myself if I'm not putting the work.
Yes.
Started building Suits by Bob the Stylist and Ngapanga Styler, and it grew. I'm working at the same time as an influencer, so I'm able to survive. I'm able to take care of myself. I'm able to make moves, saved up, bought a whip, bought my first car. Then fast forward 2014, 15, 16. Mbuya futhi 2017, with Boys of Soweto. So what happened?
My second round, 2017 now.
And because Mbuya, Falky, they send me Ama socks.
Okay.
Right, awabo with a BOS embroidered lapel, like
off the camera.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hey man, like man, this is really cool because now I'm saying actually I can sell them as
so they make it and then now they're showing it to you.
But don't I hit them up, but you know what? I've shared the content, so creative content from the product, right? I've shared content, and people want them as socks. I mean, I'm proposing a collaboration. And this lady reached out to me. Also, so the guy reached out to the marketing manager at Con. And then the buyer, I'm like, okay, sound interesting. Send us what you have. We'll work on a proposal. Send it to them. Boys of Soweto. So times Falky, Abantu hieroglyphics. So the story Sakoni was on hieroglyphics, right? And it's just this. It's what do you call it? We were bringing to light that Africans used to write. And so there's this narrative we didn't write. And it was an oral. An oral. Yonkind was shared in an oral tradition, which was a lie. I mean, every civilization started in Africa. It means, so we went there, we went that deep. So it was inspired because I'm an intuitive researcher. So I found myself reading about just ancient Egypt and Kemet. And realized but we wrote in symbols. So I had those in symbols on the socks, and I created my own symbol, EPOS. They loved it, I ran with it. From there on, 17, 18, I made my tracksuits. So I would drop occasionally, whilst working on Suits by Bob the Stylist. I'm now in the game of styling. I'm no longer interning. I'm now in the game of styling. I'm getting gigs. I'm doing, like I said, now I'm doing commercials. I've worked with big brands. And I've worked with big brands. I've worked with as an antique companies, and I've worked with what you call celebrities. Saying it deep in
things are rolling.
Yeah, things are moving.
You're moving now.
And 2020 hits, right? 2020, it's now COVID.
Don't remind me of this one.
I was now styling I was commissioned to style Destiny magazine. So I was doing
Destiny.
the covers.
I also buy Destiny magazine. I also buy that.
So I used to style the covers. I used to style the cover and the fashion spread. Right? Then I would drop.
Say it again. You had to style the cover.
I was styling the cover, right, and the fashion spread. So I was the stylist there.
Easy,
Right? So I'm moving. Whilst moving, I think I had a dream of this lady. She makes summer rugs, and in that dream, young was guti, why don't you make a collection? Yeah, moving. It was why I collection. This is now 2020. I'm weird. I dropped. But within 2017, I became the face of Hennessy. So my face is all over Africa. From Nigeria, Ghana, I was the face of Hennessy in sub-Saharan Africa. It was a period of 3 years. So I took some of that money and now put it back into Pose of Soweto. And I remember having that conversation just with myself. I'm putting it into this thing because I believe I go here. And if batting blue, I know go to at least I do it and what I love.
What you love.
Rather than lifestyle.
It's your dream.
Yeah.
Remember, this thing is a calling. It's a calling.
It has always been here.
It will always haunt you.
Gotcha.
No matter how much you put it on you pack it because of certain circumstances that you mentioned. But it calling, guys. It will always haunt you. And you will never have peace. You'll never have peace. You might be doing well because as you have mentioning, but it's still in the back of your mind.
Yeah. So that happened.
So now you decide to put it. I'm going to put it into
back into the business, and I did that. I'll sell a photo from scratch. T-shirts, sweaters. So spring, summer will be t-shirts. Winter started moving. Sweaters and tracksuits, right? And from then,
let's bring back the tracksuits.
I can't. It's dropping this week. If not today, but they're dropping this week from a two-piece suit. I think you're gonna like them.
Yeah, of course.
I did that, and so throughout the journey, I was exposed to the right people. I was exposed to the culture of reading. So I knew I didn't have enough information on just imali. So I started reading books on financial consciousness.
Yes.
So my decisions were quite informed. Even when I started with imali, how I handled the money that I got for me Hennessy, which at that time for me it was a lot. But manje it wasn't. Put it back in the business, and I would just plow it back. I work on designs, test them. Like what I'm doing right now, whether it be you'll see me wearing a sample and posting it, this is what I've been doing throughout. Hasn't changed. I'd wear sweat and see how abantu respond if there are orders, then start delivering.
I'm always the first one to comment. Right. Fire emojis. Sure.
Yeah. So I did that, and what changed everything, it's when Carol Bauer posted wearing our utility vest. She was wearing a utility vest. She was in New York.
Even better.
Went crazy just on the socials. It went crazy as in the product and brand awareness, but at the same time orders. So it's like...
shout out to her. Shout out to Carol Bauer. Yes.
Sure. And I was on that Saturday, I think it was a Saturday or Sunday, I was supposed to be out with a homie of mine who was a celebrity, right? Okay. And our relationship was still fresh. And now I'm a DM again. So I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice. I'm like, this is it. And I think in the business, it's just how you respond to your customers. Customer service is essential. So I ran with it because I've experience in retail. I knew the importance of that. So I started answering my DMs. I was taking orders and go 2 a.m. Because people were ordering stuff. In my mind, like, why aren't you sleep?
Sure.
But at the same time, I'm grateful because people are now buying, and you can see what I'm making. And I'm recently, and I'm dropping offers, and so I'm driving around.
I wanted to ask you, where are you selling it from?
I'm in my apartment. I'm selling a poutine, and I'm driving around. So my phone isn't like, no, wait.
The humble beginnings.
I'll drop off Soweto, Semi-Trend. I was doing that really on a daily, and when I have gigs, then I'll dedicate a skati. Dedicate a skati on going back to styling. And for me, styling was maybe catching a breath, then come back, you know, and just go back to it. And you know, I'm fortunate because how it played out, because now I end up building relationships in the industry, and that tends to work in my advantage right now. Because I have people in the industry, whether it be stylists, it's easy to sources and those, you know,
Yes, sir.
whether maybe say there's a TV commercial or magazine shoot, bangas, they know the brand, so easy to buy was resource because those relationships that I built earlier
Yes,
on.
they can trust you.
Yeah, earlier on, where I think I was being by can't being
Sure.
So that happened, and ever since I was just focusing on that. I mean, my figure, you just plow it back into the business, plow it back into business. Until date, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Until it manifested in all of this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, you've built something very great, bro. Yeah, you've built something
And we're
else.
still building. I think we were just
And
lacing the foundation.
Yeah, and I like the way it's coming from. You shared with why it's called Boys of Soweto. I like it has a strong meaning, right? All about bringing light into that darkness as a gas, you know, and all. Just changing the narrative. So I like that, man.
Sure.
My next question to you, man, is, like I said, you seem passionate about uplifting the community.
Yeah.
You understand your brand is based, you know, what's behind it is about uplifting the community. That's what you said. So tell us more about this Boys Today and Men Tomorrow that you created.
So while I was doing everything that I mentioned earlier on,
Yes, sir.
I know with the young homies, Ikaslam, you know, like, yo, man, we see you. Can you give me advice? Can you mentor me? And I do that. I think the first guy that approached me was John. He's called himself Gifted Child, you know. And on occasion, Mang Tolang Sekas, like, no, this is what you need to do. This is how you move. And then it will be another homie, you know. And I think there was a time where Sister Nam told me, actually, you need to focus, you need to dedicate some of your time in building in Dona's because Zappa is a sega.
Amakrutman aweko, but awadlala indima yawo. These boys need father figures.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is where now you come in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I decided, okay, let's now officialize it, if there's a term, and invite other kids as well. And the goal, it's simple. The goal is what you're doing to inspire, motivate, and expand their mental horizon. You know, expose them to people, you know, that I've met in the industry who are playing significant roles in their fields. You know, who are on a higher tier in their field.
Yes, sir.
So expose them to those people and then to take them out, take us. Because I know how Kasi is.
Mindset.
Yeah,
It's very
Kasi.
important. Environment.
Environment is everything.
Yes. Environment is everything. It shapes you. Yes.
Yeah. So we'd go hiking. At times we go hiking. At
I've
times
seen that,
would visit people's companies or stores. For instance, a homie of mine he's got a coffee shop here downtown Mabuning. So we'd drive and just have chats, you know, just to get my input from him. Yeah, that was the idea. But the goal really is to at least inspire these young coming boys into becoming responsible men in their community.
Yes.
And at the same time, expand their minds. But there's more out there, you know. That is the goal. That is the goal because there's so much that
Potential.
we are missing. We don't have it, and complaining doesn't help.
Sure.
Yeah. So my thing was okay. So because you see it, oh, you're gonna be because everyone talks about it.
And it doesn't help to talk about these things, so-called problems, in the corners. You need to bring light. You need to bring them forward.
Sure.
You understand? So that in public, or you keep amandla, you take away the power from that problem. You understand? You normalize now. Now it's no longer a big problem. Now it's a normal problem that we can just discuss. You understand? Yes.
Yeah.
And you decided to take it on.
Yeah. Because now you choose what type of man are you,
Sure.
or how you're gonna be remembered. You know how you wanna be perceived. You know? And I know. See, and I mentioned earlier on Kwanzaa, and you know the small the pillars into leadership. You know what makes one a good leader is servitude. So I was exercising all of this information that I was reading.
You understand the assignment. You understand the assignment. Yeah.
It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing, you know. But I had to try it, you know. And then Yeah, it's been that. Boys Aim and Tomorrow. It's about building a strong psychological image of black boys in the township.
Sure.
That's how it started. But now their leaders who join us as well, and we don't discriminate, and we welcome them.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, man. I love that about you, and I love your character, man. I love your energy. I love everything about you. You're a good person, just based on everything that you are doing. And with that being said, right, they say a bad company corrupts the good character that you are, right? So how do you keep this level of focus, man? And how do you keep this level of focus and avoid distractions? You understand? I want to know, how important is it to have the right type of people around you, Bob? You understand this? You know this?
No, yes.
Yes.
You are who you hang around with.
Sure.
Uqala lapho, yeah. As soon as you know that, then you have to move accordingly. Choose kahle, and have discernment, but khona umuntu ukuthi ukhulena naye umngane wakho, but niyakuphi nonke phambili, as your dream, your personal dream and his personal dream aligned, and is there a goal to ukuthi niphume la nikhona, or you content, when you look at habits as well, these habits that we engage on, that we indulge in,
serving us in the right way?
So you have to choose, and I've moved away from cruise. And to a point where friends, you realize, good man, friendship sometimes is overrated, and also you hold money if you can't.
And sometimes we use this term friendship loosely.
Sure.
Yeah. Just because you know someone who hang up with them, they're your friends. Yeah, it's a deep word.
It is. And someone said that if you can't live with your friends, that means it's a saint one. So kwamele ukuthi take time and isolate, and now start introspecting, start building
isolation. You need that isolation, sure. Because like I always tell them, uThixo akafuni ingxolo. You understand? When he wants to communicate with you, it needs to be silent. And how are you going to think about your dreams and your whatever aspirations if you surrounded by crowds? You understand? So you need that isolation at some point. It doesn't mean you're antisocial. No, that's not what we are saying. But you need to spend time with yourself and learn about yourself.
That's important.
Right? Yes. Sure, Khutman. So my next question for you is, what is this journey, man? You've mentioned a lot of things, and like you said, some of the stuff you left them out. But what has this journey of success cost you? What did you have to sacrifice in order to fulfill these dreams you're talking about? Did you lose any friends? You've just said you lost friends. What about family members? Even as a partner, potentially nyana that you thought so far in a way, or even just quality time with your loved ones. What is this success, this pursuit, cost you? I'll give an example. Like I always say for myself, I'm based in Saudi Arabia for work. My family, wife and kids, they're based here in South Africa.
Yeah.
So I'm using that as a simple example.
I'm
sacrificing the time. By design, I'm married. By design, me and my wife, we shouldn't be separated. Our marriage, sometimes, this thing can take its toll on our marriage, but we're making it work. Abantwana bafuna ukukhula around the time alabo. I'm raising my kids on the phone. You see? So those are the sacrifices. But we understand, it's not an easy thing, but we understand the full picture, the big picture in the fro. Because in success, you have to sacrifice something in order to get something. It's a trade. So what have you lost?
Sure, friends, definitely friendship.
Sure, definitely.
I've lost friends. I've lost a lover. And no, family, no, not really, because the family, that's my backbone. And I've realized through my journey that family is stronger. It's thicker in blood, and they were there for me when everyone else wasn't
deserted
around.
You also.
So family for me now plays a pivotal role. But I've definitely sacrificed friendship over the pursuit of this thing, and because of Soweto.
Sure. And I love that about you when you say you value the family. And I just found out yesterday when I came to the shop, Uguti, you've hired your family members here.
Yeah.
Your nephew, Utando. No, Mangoba, and the tall one, Malankana. And then what about the lady? Uzanele. Those are your cousins or your nephew or niece, whatever,
Charity begins at home. Charity begins at home.
Sure.
And all I was doing was trying to solve a problem. because there was a time where I was broke, right? And I realized that I'm broke. Then I had to, and yes, it's my to broke. There's something that's broken, you know. So I was financially broken. I had to sort that out. Hence, in my journey, I was selling, you know,
Sure.
and I had to sort that out. Now that there's a flow. I think abanye futhi abanenkinga. Then I had to pull in. The first that I recruited was Mango, but I recruited him early. Well, I think just after high school.
Okay.
So I would call him whenever I had gigs. When I was styling, I would call him just to observe.
Come with you.
Yeah, Nini would be assisting, you know, just grooming him.
Yes. No, that's great stuff, man. Let's talk about God now. You know, I believe and I know for a fact, for myself, Oguti, God plays a vital role in our lives, man.
Yeah.
You know, how important is it to have just, first of all, a relationship with Him? Because I believe, Oguti, is not just to come into your life, fulfill your dreams and goals that you are busy praying for, and then that's it, and then He leaves. Understand? Whenever it pleases you, you understand? It starts with having a relationship with Him. You understand? And He also says in the Bible, right, Oguti, He knows your needs. You understand? What's the first thing to do? Seek His kingdom. And then the rest of the stuff that you want as a Bob will follow. He already knows that, right? So how important is it to have this kind of relationship?
I think I took that journey early in my 20s.
You were a disciple. We're not plus when you were a disciple.
I took that journey in my early 20s. I followed the path of Gaga Solomon. You know, he sought wisdom first, and then God granted him
The wealth and
after. So now I chose that path, you know, to understand who I am, and then my why do I exist, and then I build a deeper relationship with God.
Yeah.
You know, it was an easy one. But going back to your question, it is quite for me. I find it quite important to have a relationship with Nkulunkulu, with the source. You know?
Yes.
Because there were times where I was tested, but my faith was strong and my spirit was strong. I was able to overcome those situations where Abanye and Mhlambe, they would succumb, you know, to the challenges and then just give up. You know, I mean, I would have always something that will. So when I thought of giving up, it would be someone who would reach out to me or answer the DM with or wherever. I see you, Bob. I see what you're doing. You know, just out of the blue, totally, I'm feeling depleted energetically or energy-wise. Like, you know, and someone will send me a DM, you know, and I know like, oh, this is how God is speaking to me. Or someone would just randomly place an order, or someone, so I knew and the legend learner for me, it's not just about entrepreneurship, because I've never saw myself as an entrepreneur. Like I said, I've been solving king. I'm good. I was broke, so I had to find creative ways, and I flipped my passion, I flipped my talent into what we now call the boys of Soweto, or me being a fashion entrepreneur. So this journey for me, it's a spiritual journey, because I tend to discover uNkulunkulu every time. You know, remember ukuzana la kule shop lena, I planned it, I think a year before. You know, but I looked at the cost and so I'm a freelance stylist. So it means when you're freelancing, you're not permanent, and I have a bond to pay. And I'm looking at shopless business will be good for the brand, right? But but remembering since I had built a relationship with God, I could hear Him speak. You know, like and you know, we have a whole lot of voices. We have a whole lot of voices. But I had learned to identify if it's Nkulunkulu. If it's Nkulunkulu is never loud.
From there.
Then also you try to convince you. But when I was but you know, but and I chose and I was obedient to it. You know, like what I'm gonna do again, I'm gonna start off as a pop-up rather than committing. Pop-up for a month or two. I did that, and I'll tell you, and what we did on that Sunday, you know, we made revenue that could pay for the next coming 6 months. And I was like, okay, I see you, God. Done. And ever since for me, it's like, because I know. You know, whenever an idea comes in, I know it's not my idea. You know, if I don't use it, someone who's on that wavelength is going to run with it. You know, so going back to your question, how important it is, for me, it's paramount to build a relationship, what you call the higher source, the most high. You know, it will help you navigate through challenges, through the darkness.
Because he has the GPS
Sure.
for your life. And I would like to add to what you've just said, man. Ukuthi, you mentioned adversity that that grew your faith. Out of that adversity, that's how your faith grew, strength by each challenge. You understand it? Because I want my listeners or viewers to understand this. Ukuthi, it seems like if you judge by anything, listening to your story, uThixo, he uses adversity, guys, to grow you, to grow your character. I've never seen umuntu successfully. As we it was a landslide journey. You understand? So, like, get used to it, get over it.
Yeah,
don't panic when you're going through something. You understand? And the other thing you said was, voice kaNkulunkulu iphansi. You understand?
Yeah.
It's polite in don't. And I want to add to that, ukuthi, it's not always going to be logic into zakhe, my suggestions akhe. Remember, he works in mysterious ways. His ways are not our ways.
Sure.
You understand? So don't always focus on irreality, only on your ideas. My ideas wakhe, it's always like, mawuthi wena kumele uye right, yena is going left. You understand? Because he knows what's out there for you. Yeah, man, I love that. And then I want to, are you in a relationship now? Like
No, I'm not.
You are? Okay.
No, I'm
You
not.
ukwenzela umntana kanti previous one.
No,
Ukhethile.
I mean, no, we
Bakuhurda.
no, not even. We both fell out of love, but
Okay.
it was through that break that I realized that I had lost myself. You know, and now when I was going back and just pursuing whatever, I'm working on Suits by Bob the Stylist, Mangai collecting, I'm working on music. I realized, like, man, this is me. And yo, mang because I'm like, yeah, this is the guy that I miss. This is the guy. This is who I used to be. You know, I think I had sacrificed most of my time into building this thing, and it was beautiful. But I lost myself.
You lost yourself, and it shouldn't be like that. It should be merged. Because I was going to ask you how important to have a supportive partner or a spouse.
I mean, I think it's important. It is important to have just about who, you know, who support you, but at the same time, this is your path. This is your journey.
Sure.
You have to walk on this path alone. You know,
With or without them.
because it tends to create a dependency. When you're unconsciously expecting people to
Yes, to
support
pour
you.
into you,
Yabona. And as an entrepreneur, don't have a mindset ukuthi at the end of the day, mhlawumbe, when you have a product or service that you're rendering, that your friends and family have to support you, they don't owe you anything. It's not their dream, it's yours. Your goal is to create this thing that you believe in and go out there into the world and sell it.
Conquer.
But if you're expecting your family, this is a recipe for heartbreak and heartache. Expecting your friends and family to support you.
It must just come as a bonus, basically, when it comes. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, I got you. Man.
Don't when you build a product, don't build it for your friends and family. Build it for your consumers. And now you need to do research with who are my consumers. Nyan.
Sure. No, I got you, man. No, thanks for that. What's your relationship with money? I want to start there first. What's your relationship with money?
And I need you to break that down. It's a bit vague.
Okay, let's go to my next question. Maybe if I can just combine it to my
Sure.
next question. People sometimes they say money is a root of evil. Sometimes. And that with that being said, can you be rich or wealthy and still serve God?
Yeah, I don't think money is the root of evil. I mean, this is
Abantu,
probably,
sometimes abantu basho
and I've
kanjalo.
heard it nasesontweni.
Yes,
And it's not. I think ignorance. Ignorance is the root of evil. Not knowing yourself and placing your self-worth or sense of identity into imali or material things, you know. But if you're a decent human being, only imali and you're gonna do isn't this right for you and for your family. I can imagine if mama kagana medical aid was
It's just a tool, this thing.
yeah, to make
mustn't
this
define you.
It shouldn't. I don't think it should. Because now, if it defines you, right, and I never if it's an idea and whatnot, I know these things happen, you know, but if it defines you, what happens, my pen? You know, and that's where you find people, they fall deep into
You've
depression.
lost that fancy job, that big salary,
Sure.
and all these things.
Now you fall deep into depression or you commit suicide because you don't see yourself outside that.
Of this thing, who is Anel, who is Bob outside of this? Oh, sure, good man. So you can still be wealthy and rich and still be a good person, because kukho le nto ngathi abantu bethu, especially us black people, we like to associate humility with poverty. I can only be humble mangi poor. I can only be a good person mangi poor. You understand? And I don't like that perception.
And I get it. I get it. It's easy very to be humble when you're poor.
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, and I guess you get tested once God starts plowing. Then you get tested. Your character now will then reveal itself. But money doesn't really change people. I think it reveals who they really
magnifies.
are. Yeah.
It magnifies what was always there from the start. Sure, I got you, man. And then what I want to ask next is, success means different things to all of us, right? What does success mean to you?
I mean, how I see success is it's being able to achieve all your short-term and long-term goals, right?
Yeah.
Because you're successful in attaining that dream or goal. You're successful in it, but I know what success doesn't end.
It's a
continuous thing.
Continuous from nothing to something. It's not destination.
Yes, you are able to do this, but then what?
Then what?
Then what?
And 50 Cent said it. Yes.
Yeah, and I pay it. But overall, I think being able to achieve those goals and at the same time be able to assist those who were in a bad position, for me, and that I'll define
using
as
your success, and you've done a lot of that.
Then for me, that person, I look at that person and like he's really successful because he was able to take himself, he or her was able to take himself from an impoverished situation, or that situation into a better situation. But agayanga I won, but he brought abantu food. Yeah,
I like that. You know what? I've been listening to you so far, and I like that you are practicing what you are preaching, and there's evidence of it. You understand? I like that about you. And then after everything, I want to know now, after everything, you've said a lot, a mouthful, right? After everything, all of those things, I want to know, man, to this point.
Yeah.
And you are still going forward on it, right? We said success is a moving target. You are still a fairly young guy. But up until this point, Bob, I want you to pat yourself on the back now, right? That's not being arrogant or anything, right? I was jelly, but I want to know, what are you most proud of up until this point?
Turning nothing into something. So being able to take an idea, because an idea it's an intangible, it resides in an intangible plane. Being able to convert that into a material thing for me now, and now you're seeing people feeling dignified in a product that was once an idea. For me, and that is just amazing. And it's unreal every day seeing some people.
Sometimes you have to pinch yourself.
I do that all the time. I was in Cape Town just now, and I'm like, hey, it's crazy. For lack of better words, it's crazy. But being able to turn an idea into reality, because we is kulma idea, and I know
so with some idea,
and there are phases, and I get it now. There are phases. There are phases where in your life where you are intrigued by ideas, and these ideas, you're writing them down, you're telling your about and whatnot, but there is a phase where you need to stop talking and start doing. Now those are two worlds, and those are two different people, because khona abantu abakhulumayo, khona abantu abayenza, khona abantu abakhuluma ngokwenza. And once you start doing, you now evolve, you become another person. So going back to what you were saying, what's being able to turn an idea into reality, because by so doing you are impersonating God. God creates. Now you've created this thing that didn't exist.
Sure, man. And some of these ideas, unfortunately, they go to the grave.
It's a sad thing.
It's a sad thing.
Like because what are you living for if you're not living for your dreams?
Kune date of birth and the date of death. Nothing in between. Come on, guys, we have to change that reality, right? Hortman, I'm going to keep saying, yes, you're still going wherever you're going, right? And but you've done a lot, man. You're a legend in the making. You're already an icon. You're already a legend to me. You're already an icon to me.
I don't know about that.
To me, that's why you are here. I just want to know, what does legacy mean to Vusumuzi, right? And how do you want us, the people you are serving, to remember you? When it's all said and done, that's a long time to come, yes. But as you are moving, how do you want Vusumuzi to be remembered by us? What is legacy to you, Kurtman?
Guess legacy for me right now, with Boys of Soweto, it's being able to create something that will outlive me.
Sure.
You know, because man is mortal, right? But this idea can live for centuries. So being right now, it's my goal is to create an entity that will outlive me. That will be legacy. Good, 100 years from now, 200 years from now, because that's possible. Right?
Now about Louis Vuitton,
I mean, even like clothes,
the people who started Louis Vuitton, they are no longer here.
They're no longer there. I mean, even like close like your Markham, Moche Beg, if you do the history, it's not into your mind.
I was in high school, I told you.
Yeah. With you as a face. So it's able to do that, but for us now. But this is what we've created.
Sure.
And it's now 200 years. You can imagine next generation.
And I say that for you. I truly say that.
Yeah, that's what I want to live. That's what I want to live. And how do I want to be remembered? As he who believed and went and worked on the idea. Because there was a time where I used to talk about it now being so call center.
Sure.
When I was working at call center, like, I my idea.
Yes.
But I then moved and worked on it. It was challenging. It still is challenging. My challenges, it's tougher.
Of course, yes.
Right now we're in a space where, okay, now I see the results. Okay, where to God? Can we clock another 50 years? Let's clock another, That's what I wanna be remembered as he who did it, went out there and did it, created something that will live forever. But not to derail. Not to derail from the conversation,
Sure,
but
go for it, yeah.
but when you look at the conservation of energy or the spirit, energy doesn't die; it transforms to a different form. And energy, I'd say, is equivalent to a spirit. This could be pseudoscience, but my understanding is energy doesn't die, spirit doesn't die; it transforms to a different form. So even I move away from this body, but Nzo return into another body.
Sure.
And my hope is Mangbuya to another body,
Yeah.
Soweto will be still in existence.
This is just a game. This is just a
Crazy thought, yeah.
Yeah, man. And you know what? What I love about Rutman uNkulunkulu onsikelele, ne? With my job.
Sure.
Right? It puts food on the table, yenzani, I'm able to provide. But since I started this podcast, man, it fulfills me. My job is not my passion. I'm a chemistry guy. I work in the lab and all those things, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but it's not my passion. I have found my passion.
Okay.
This is my passion. Working for God is my passion. And I want to add to your point, Uguti, you know what? It's not just monetary, Lendo. What I've found out, Uguti, following your passion, it also fulfills you. It brings happiness.
Yeah.
The peace. Sometimes maybe I go in your relationship, in whatever, in your job even.
Sure.
But sometimes when I'm in Saudi, then I start recording that room, I forget everything. You understand? So this is what it does to you. You understand? So I want to encourage Abantu to go after that. Go use your gift. Find out what is your gift. How do we find out your gift? From God. Who made you? It's God. Don't ask us. We don't know that, right? God instilled that gift in you, that passion, that calling, right? You just need to isolate yourself, just like you were saying, that tune in, and then listen to God's voice, and then tap into this calling.
And
You
then,
understand?
and then to add, because umuntu might struggle to just I want and because they so accustomed to them. I would say choose abangani. You need to be selective.
Like-minded.
Choose people that you look up to. Hang around with abantu abakhulayo. Because that's how you're gonna grow. Hang around with abantu
Be staring
abakhulayo.
all the time in the
That's-
beyond of the group.
Now you're prone to die, because who's
Complacency
inspiring?
kicks in
Yeah,
also.
that's what's gonna happen. So bloma nabantu abakhulayo life in and just study their moves.
So one of my last questions, right? Any words of encouragement, right, to someone who hasn't gotten their breakthrough just yet, right? And they are also about to give up, man, And I always say when I got money, ama attacks, they become greater. Just when you're getting closer to that breakthrough. And then we give up, man, last minute, man. What kind of encouraging words do you have for Umdonjalo? Because you've hit ama moments anjalo now. And there were times whereby you let go of Boys of Soweto also, but you make a comeback, right? So by you sitting here, you've got a lot of wisdom that you got from those experiences.
Yeah.
What can you tell that person now?
I mean, good journey. What I've learned, it's okay to rest.
Oh, okay.
It's okay to
Just rest.
rest.
Okay.
Recuperate. replan. You re-stretch your diet, just re-strategizing, right? You replanning and you go back to it. You know, I think that's one thing that is essential. But have a die-hard spirit.
Sure.
Live for it and die for your dreams to
Sure.
happen.
Sure.
You have to die for it. Yeah, because if you're not living for your dream, so do by all means work on it. I mean, every day. It's even on my caption. I normally say BOS daily because that's what I rely on.
No, I got you, man. I think now we are done with our interview. Now let me enter into my special request. We talked about this off the camera, but man, like I said, man, my viewers know my story. You know, I love clothes.
Yeah.
Right. You know, my house is full of GQ magazines. Like I said, Destiny Man, the same magazines that you've, brands
Styled.
that you've worked with. Right. So this is a full cycle for me sitting here with you also. Right. That's why I'm saying it's a special, episode. Right. So I had an aspiring career, a modeling career in the beginning. Right. Like throughout the primary, and then early in high school, right?
Yeah.
But then basketball took over from there, from standard 8, which is grade 8 for you young guys, right? So yeah, man. But the passion for the clothes never stopped, right? You know, I'm not a designer like you, but I just like looking good,
Okay.
right? Yes, man. So Namfeto, I have a request to you, right? Good. I want to relive that experience.
Okay.
I want to relive that experience, and I'm already, supporting the brand, and I'm not asking this because of that, that is one side. But, I'm already part of, I see myself as part of the family. So
sure.
just, yeah, I was saying as Faga. So I wouldn't mind, man. Think about it, I wouldn't mind. What I'm trying to ask you is, my campaigns just to model for you. Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll even work out in toilet body nyana
Six-pack.
Yeah, not this pack. I can't give you this pack, but just to hey, unchebe white.
Every day uyajima nomuntu nami novanga shit. Uyajima no.
Enokudala ngipostpone ngithi ngizawubuyela ejimini.
Let's see. Yeah, but it can happen.
It can happen.
I see it
All right.
happening.
Whenever I'm available,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it,
Yeah.
right? So you are
I do
agreeing
see it happening.
Guys, uma ungakhulumi, wawuzikhulumela, kukhulunyelwa ngubani, right? Sharp, guys. And one more request.
One more.
Yamastays uthanda izinto and ngeke ungivimbe mina. One more request, man. There's somebody, ne? I saw you with this guy. I think he was hosting you in his annual conference, something.
Okay.
He's from Batu Group,
Yeah.
the owner. I believe he has a very interesting story. If unje bengacela khotman ukuthi ungikhulumele yena, ungikhulumele naye, uTheo Baloyi is who I'm referring to. Ngiyancenceza khotman ukuthi ungikhulume naye for him to come in and share his story on the show. That would be great. Yeah. Bangakhonakala nje khotman.
Okay.
Will that be possible also?
So Leah, it's beyond my control. Leah, I can't say manje ukuthi it will be possible, but I'll speak to him.
Yes, I just
yeah,
put
I
the
don't
word
mind. I
in.
don't mind. Yeah.
Yes, umtshela ukuthi nawe it's a vibe ozenjoy lota is outegrand yonke lonto le. Yeah.
From nothing to something. I mean, I resonate with what you stand for, what the podcast is about. Turning nothing into something that's alchemy.
No, thank you, man. You're also into hip hop. That's not one of the questions, but I've noticed
I'm
that
a
you're also
head,
into
yeah.
hip hop.
Well, there was a time where I was a hip hop head.
You're no longer. Because that's what also inspired me, also hip hop.
Guess I am. I'm still, man. Hip hop played a pivotal role in Billionaire, even just on the educational side of things, not just entertainment. Because when you listen to these guys, you realize that rapper they're smart. Most of them are nerdy. And there's so much you can learn. So in English, I'm ngifunde through hip hop, not just school. So hip hop
has been part of you.
Has been part of me, and you can break it down. Go to this, because they are so. I'm misunderstanding. Go to when people listen to the genre, but hip hop, you can't listen to hip hop. You listen to the rap. It's rap music, which is a pillar that builds a hip hop. Hip hop is a found. I'd say it's a
lifestyle.
it's an umbrella.
It's okay.
Or it's a building, or this building has pillars.
Yes.
You have your b-boying, you have your DJing, entrepreneurs in this
Graffiti.
lapo, the knowledge of selfie lapo, graffiti. So more hlanganisa into this, they
MCs,
MCing, right? It constitutes hip hop.
To hip-hop.
It's not just the rap element of it.
Yeah,
It's a mind
I
state.
got you.
The knowledge of self. That is hip hop, because hip, and it's something that's moving.
Yeah.
And no, hip, it's something that's smart. You hip, you cool, right? And it's being smart, it's being clever, and how
Ideas
you're
and all
constantly
those things.
moving, you're constantly elevating. And if you look at hip hop is constantly elevating. That's what it is. Yeah. But more intelligence, and when you say you're a hip hopper, it means you exercise all of these principles.
Sure. No,
Yeah.
I got you, man. No, thank you, guys. Hey, but you know what? I'm lost for words, man. I'm lost for words.
Yeah.
But before I say thank you, I close the show. Ngicela ukupha a gift. No, usually
Sure.
this part of the show, this is
Nice.
where I give a guest here to a gift. You know, something nyana. It's not also so Tomara. It's something nyana.
It's something to
just a
nothing.
token of appreciation to
From
say
nothing
thank you,
to-
Khotmane, for coming to the show and embracing our show and seeing the value in our show.
Sure.
Right? Yes, man. I have this thing for you.
Yeah, boy.
Right? I've got
Thank you,
3.
sir.
For you, for Ulandika, you have to come correct.
Nice.
Nina totala 1 item. You look at Bob Tola full trick suit.
Abanekansi-ke kulo nyaka.
Yeah.
Ye-winter
No, on
abana-chance.
top of that, angakaqedi nejacket. Angithi songena kwi-winter manje. Yeah. Nayi.
Abana-chance
Ngiyayibona
kule
ngithi.
winter.
Nayi angisa ngibayibona.
Abana-chance kule winter, mfethu.
Yeah, I know le winter ngeke uyifeel. Uzozwa ngathi sekuthi sesikutyela ukuthi i-winter iphelile. No, thank you, man. By this, man, I'm trying to say thank you, Khotmane.
Yeah.
Uthixo
Amen.
akwandisele, you know,
Amen.
give you
Good
more
down.
abundance and
Sure.
abundance, right? Guys, we've come to the end of our show, and thank you for being part of this show. And I hope, guys, Uguti, you've learned a couple of gems. It's been dropping gems throughout the episode. I know I've learned a lot of stuff, and I'm already inspired by him, right? Guys, but it's not about just being inspired and getting motivated, right? But whatever our guest shared, you need to act on it. He
Yeah.
talked about, we all have ideas, but there's this thing called action. You understand? Which is a different ball game. So I want you guys, don't let this thing cool off. That inspiration, whatever you're feeling today, don't let it cool off. Go and execute, right? Guys, like I said, we've reached the end of our episode. Thank you to our guest. Guys, it's time for me to go now. From nothing to something, let's get it.